So we need meditation more than ever. We are so anxious and high strung because our thoughts are churning constantly and we're getting bombarded with information and details constantly. I think that during COVID, we all got used to being on screens a lot more because that's how we connected with people. It was how we did our work in many cases. So we just kind of upped the ante on how much we expected our brains to be able to be online. And it became a habit. And the screen time for the average person went way up and hasn't gone back down. So our minds are so in need of rest. Our brains are in need of nothing, of nothingness, of stillness, of quiet. So the practice of meditation is what can restore us. And yet it's harder than ever to get into meditation because we're met with this sensation of thoughts that won't stop as soon as we try to meditate. And the antidote to that is group meditation. It's to get together with people, either take a class or go to a meditation center or, just a group of friends. But that field of presence that you create together makes it a lot easier to sit longer and become quieter and quieter. And it's almost like you have to pass through this portal of anxiety and busyness and restlessness and I don't want to do this, kind of like this inner brat that doesn't want to sit still. It's like an ADD kind of child almost that is reacting at first. And then once you pass through that, as you sit in a group together, then this field of spaciousness opens up, both collectively and inside each person. And then we start to draw closer and closer to the center within ourselves. And that's where things start to fall into place. The anxiety subside, peace arises. And it's almost like we go back to our old selves, who we were before life got so extremely stimulating constantly. So that's why I'm doing this series of meditation workshops for anxiety, and it's one of many offerings out there. But I use my 3 favorite meditations in this workshop. One is kind of classic mindfulness meditation, where we work with the body's energy field, becoming present in the body through awareness of the breath and quieting down the mind. And that's usually the hardest. Like people, that's where you really meet all that tension and stuff and spinning that is going on for many of us now. And once we move through that, we can move into the Heal What Hurts meditation, which is more of a compassionate check-in with what's up, what is contracted and tense inside the body. And then from there, we move into a very lovely, longer guided Shavasana. And that's really to honor the need for Shavasana. Shavasana is the final pose in a typical yoga class where you rest for a while. Only that while has been reduced to like 2 or 3 minutes in many yoga classes, whereas in kind of traditional yoga classes, if you can call it that, when I started doing yoga in the 90s, Shavasana was 15 minutes and classes were typically an hour and a half. But since we've shortened the classes, what has really fallen by the wayside is that long restorative relaxation that you achieve after a yoga class. So that's the last thing we do. And it's long. It's like 15, 20 minutes of just deep guided relaxation practice. And the whole thing is a couple of hours and you leave feeling like you've just shed a layer of tension from your system. Both mentally, like thoughts are just going too fast. They kind of slow way down. You get some stillness. And then also the body gets the attention it needs to remember to let go. So there's these pockets of tension in the body that we manage to let go of. So there's kind of a almost childlike fluidity in the body that we can walk away with from this workshop. So I encourage you to take a look at that, or if not my workshop, look at what else is out there that you will actually go to and do, preferably with a group. Check it out, mariatosa.com, and look under education, and then Minnesota classes. That's where you'll find my local classes.